Three, two, one, and we're live, or you're on the replay, whichever one it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You, and you have tuned in to another edition of Notes on the News, where I share with you headlines from my news feed, and we talk about the headlines. Hey, welcome on the chat. We talk about the headlines, the subject matter at large, the articles, if we've read them or heard about them, or whatever else we feel like talking about because we grown and that's what we can do. But it's not news. It's just our notes on the news. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace, Rottweiler. Hey, Rowdy Chica. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And all of those other wonderful things that you do to help us get to our first 1,000 charter subscribers. Woo! Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. So what's new and good? What's exciting? What's going on in your life? Hey, Bonafide 1970, thank you for the flower. Oh, that one is cute. Kind of looks cartoony. Um, so what's new and good in your life? Is it the breath that you just took in and let out? Is it I don't know, you got some good food going on, some exciting stuff going on in your family, in your community, for you personally? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good? What's new? Habaragani. Let's check out what's going on with our Kwanzaa, Nguzo Saba, the seven principles of Kwanzaa. We cycle through those. We've been using endarkenment.com, reading one paragraph a day from the Nguzo Saba. Yesterday, or the last time that we talked, we were on Umoja, which in English means unity. In Kiswahili, it's Umoja. Umoja, and we're still on Umoja because can there be too much unity? I mean, come on now. I think we are still on Umoja. So let's jump into the essay. I think we're on the third paragraph. Ooh, this is good. Look, I got a double cheese. Another way of discussing unity is to see it as active solidarity. I like that. Active solidarity. With whom are you in solidarity? Are you actively in solidarity, or are you just talking solidarity? I mean, I'm just wondering, I'm just asking questions. This essentially means a firm, dependable togetherness that is born, based, and sustained in action. This essentially means a firm, dependable togetherness, a firm, dependable togetherness that is born, based in, and sustained in action. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Um, it is usually applied to groups, organizations, classes, and people, and expresses itself as building together, struggling together, maintaining together, and acting together in mutual benefit. The key here is again practice. Practice, not to talk, but to practice. What you practicing? What do you practice on a daily basis? What are you practicing in your thoughts? What are you practicing in your words? What are you practicing in your I like, hi White Dove, have I met you before? Welcome on the chat. What are we practicing in our actions? What are we practicing? What is your practice? What's our practice? Are we practicing unity? Are we practicing solidarity? Are we practicing integrity? Because I feel like Umoja for me is about integrity with myself as well. Hey, Ayapo, Mutual Admiration Society. Um, okay, the key here is again practice. In the end, practice proves everything. Practice proves everything. You can say whatever you want to say, but what are you practicing? What are you doing? And that's, I mean, it's easy to say that, and we always talk about, oh, you talking the talk, walking the walk. But I mean, like it's really, it's not a small thing to practice something. It's not a small thing to walk the walk. As we practice walking the walk, solidarity in deeds, not words. The more we practice, the stronger we get in that. And it's like it is a practice. The proof, is in the thickness of the pudding. The thickness of the pudding. Well, You know, when you first put pudding in the refrigerator, like when I used to, long time ago, when I used to make banana pudding, when you first put pudding in the refrigerator, when you cook the milk in it, it don't be thick. You gotta put it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna practice what I preach. Hey, Sonya sees you got another icon. Yeah. And I mean it's a I feel like it's a daily, it's not only is it a daily decision, I guess it's like a, minute by minute we decide to practice as opposed to talking. And not to say that talking is has less value, but the practice has more value. Is that, can we the practice has value. I think it's easier to talk than to do. So sometimes I tell myself just shut up. Rod is here on time, y'all. Rod is always on time. Everybody on time whenever you get here. You right on time. You in God's time. Okay. So yeah. We like this. I like this. Acting together a mutual benefit. The key here again is practice. In the end, practice proves everything. No matter how many books one reads on swimming, sooner or later, she slash he. Oh, I like how they wrote that. I always do my essays like that. S slash he. She. I feel like it's very smooth and elegant. Most of the time I'm here on time. That's right. You are. And plus, you never know when I'm coming on, which reminds me to remind you that if you have not hit the notifications bell, go ahead and hit the notification bell or unhit it and re-hit it if it's not giving you notifications. So then you know when I come in, because you never know when I'm going to come on. You can't be on time if it ain't no set time. The proof is in the thickness of the pudding. It's also in the thickness of the porridge. Go to Florida and eat porridge. I'm just joking. My belly is on. Your belly is probably on too. I'm glad your bell is on. Okay. No matter how many books one reads on swimming, sooner or later he must get into the water and swim. This may be called on this level the priority of practice. Finally, unity means a oneness, a similarity, and a sameness that gives us an identity as a people. My grandfather used to say that the proof is in the thickness of the pudding. Everybody usually says the proof is in the pudding, but the actual saying apparently was the proof is in the thickness of the pudding, says White Dove. Rottweiler says, Sonia, you always sweating me. LOL. LOL. When I laugh out loud, that's when I write LOL, when I chuckle. This may be called on this level the priority of practice. Finally, and inherent in the identity as a people is the ethical and political imperative to self-consciously unite in order to define, defend, and develop our interests. To self-consciously unite, that's like on purpose, not accidentally, on purpose. We're self-consciously uniting in order to define, like Kujichagulia, like defining ourselves. Defend. Can we talk about defense? Can we talk about having a plan for when your stalker won't leave you alone, Ayapo, and you have to have a plan for taking care of yourself and taking care of the stalker? Okay, I'll behave. Defense. When they want to bomb you because your community is thriving and they're hating. Defense. We need to have a plan in order to define, defend, and develop our interests. Growth and development. How are we going to develop? How are we advancing? That's why I always like to, when they talk about going back to our traditional greatness, I'm like, let's go forward in the tradition of our greatness. What are we developing? What are we building? How are we taking and consolidating all of the things that we know inherently as a people, the things that we've learned here recently in this last 500 years, just here recently, and then moving forward? Developing. Growth and development. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Endarkenment. ENDARKEN mint.com. Okay. So when I say Habaragani, which I think means what's the news, you say Umoja. So if I get lost, like right now, for some, oh, I haven't gone. I was gonna say for some reason I've come out of my news feed, but I'm not in my news feed. Too late, Ayapo. Ayapo defense, happy nappy yappa. I haven't gone in my news feed yet. That's why somehow I've come out of it because I never went in. Okay, so let's jump on to Buddha. And this segment is called Yo Buddha. Yo Buddha. I love that word, endarkenment. Right, and I always thought it was endarkment. Harambe, 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 Harambe. Let's pull together. Hey, Ryan James, let's pull together. Let's pull together. Harambe, Harambe, Harambe. Okay, um, Ryan James said Harambe. Ayapo Yapa said, Yo, Buddha, what up, though? Rottweiler says, Wake up, Buddha. This is from Periodic Daily Words of the Buddha. And this is for August 11th, if anybody's checking for it. I think they sent me anyway. Let one guard oneself against irritability in thought. Sonia said that Ayapo is her unpaid employee. And he got to shut up or she gonna fire him. Has anybody ever been fired from a volunteer job? Stop saying our names. You sound sick. I am sick. I can't help it. I'm improving and getting better. I have to look back now, like I don't even know. Oh yeah, I'll try to listen to one of my things to see if I like it. Because this will be the second time that I've been practicing trying to include the trying to include the names of the comments so that it doesn't just sound like I'm responding to a thought in my head, but that I'm actually, comment going on. Like just then when I just laughed, if you didn't know that Ayapo Yapa said, oh, at Sonya C's, that's the Sonya C's I know and love, or something like that, you just think I was like just laughing, just I don't know, just out of context. You sound like a mental patient in a padded room. Wow, that's strong language. Shut up or I'll fire you. Ayapo is our employee of the year. Let one guard one says Bonafide 1970. Let one guard oneself against irritability in thought. Let one be controlled in mind. Abandoning mental misconduct, let one practice good conduct in thought. Now, this is important to me because I feel like a lot of times things start in your brains, in your thoughts. Anything that like created in the world, somebody had an idea, concept, a thought in their head before it was created. So whether you're creating something beautiful and that's adding value or something, otherwise, it's a thought that starts in your head. So when we're managing our thoughts, we have an opportunity to really manage our world. We have an opportunity to really manage what we're creating. Oh, thank you. So let one guard oneself against irritability in thought. When people start getting on your nerves and everything, don't get irritable. Let one be controlled in your mind. You control your thoughts. Nobody else out there control you unless you choose to let them control you. And sometimes we have to learn to strengthen our consciousness or shift our consciousness so we can understand that and practice it. Because you feel like, oh, well, they said so and so to me, so it's on. I can't let them. I can't let them, just be saying any old thing to me. So that's why I had to get in that behind. But maybe you don't have to get in that behind. Abandoning mental misconduct. So are you conducting yourself appropriately mentally? Are you conducting yourself appropriately in your mind? Sometimes we feel like, our thoughts are private and nobody knows what we're thinking. So we can think about anything to think about, but our thoughts are creative, and so we have to continue to work on disciplining what we're thinking about, how we're thinking, and what our mental practices are, so that we are creating the world that we want for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, and for our world. It starts in the mind. Free your mind. Free. What do they say? Free your behind and your mind will follow. Free your ass and your mind will follow. Maybe it's free your mind and your behind will follow. I don't know. But anyway, okay. That's it. That's it. You sound like you're having a mental misconduct, Angela. Let us proceed with the notes from my news feed. Ayapo, when I went into the military, I had private thoughts. Then I got promoted and started having corporal thoughts. Living with Australia's drought. It's cheaper to shoot the cows. They having a serious drought in Australia, and they say, "Well, we just gonna kill the cows." Now that doesn't exactly seem sustainable to me. What you think about, you bring about, and this is so true. Yeah, I agree. Says White Dove, and I agree. It seems like it's not sustainable because if you do eat meat, I don't eat meat. But if if you kill the cows, then what you gonna eat next year? I don't know. Maybe they're going to eat the fruits and vegetables that were able to grow because the cows weren't gobbling them all up. But free your mind and your ass will follow. Free your mind and your butt will follow. See? Who said that? Funkadelic? Was it Funkadelic? I don't know. I can kind of hear it in my head, but not quite. So anyway, Australia is having a drought. Carice Rogers. Oh, I want to look at this. This image was beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna have the same image on my thing, but it says Carice or Caris Rogers, the 11-year-old girl who beat the skin color bullies. So let's look at this child. She is so. Oh, look at that image. I love pink. She got a high top fade. Yes. 11-year-old was bullied in school for her dark complexion, but has turned herself into a positive role model for others. Well, good for her. Oh, look at that other image. The model up there tackling colorism. 3, because I know how hard it is to be a little dark. Karis Rogers, because she's out here, claps times 3, because she out here beating the skin color bullies. Boo to the skin color bullies. Saudi-led airstrike kills 29 children in Yemen. So prayers out to the children and their families who were killed. Saudi Arabia led an airstrike. That's what the headline is saying. I just left a Yemen restaurant. It's called the Yemen Cafe. Australia has opened its doors to the exile white South African bears. So they might have brought the drought with them. Is that what you're saying, Bonafide? Was that Bonafide? I was just eating at a Yemen restaurant. We have a Yemeni community, a Yemen community here in the Detroit area. This was in a Hamtramck that I was. And every time I go there and every time I think about them, since I've been paying attention to the news stories, I just wonder, like, nobody was in there like crying. The atmosphere and environment did not seem somber. Now it seemed like they only had one guy waiting tables. But I'm there. I don't go there very often. And that Yemen bread is so good. They bring you a piece like this big. It's like $1. And I got tabbouleh. It was really good. But anyway, just prayers out, to the children. I feel nothing. They treated the Aboriginals worse than America did the natives. I feel nothing. I feel nothing, says Sonia Sees. Nobody feels anything. I don't know. I feel bad for I was gonna say people, but we haven't really fully established who's a people and who's not a people, right? Have to run an errand. We'll be back. Sonia, see if you can make it with me until I get back, says Ayapo. Get the recipe and let's open our own. Oh, I already know how to make tabbouleh. I don't need, but we have company who's in town. And so, we were socializing and it was nice. It was good. And I like the community is called Hamtramck. Hurry up, Ayapo, says Sonia Sees. We can't make it without you. We need you here. Um, I forget what I was saying, probably nothing important. Okay. Rise in wolf attacks alarms Dutch sheep farmers. So they having more attacks by wolves and over in what's Dutch? Netherlands? Amsterdam? Netherlands. Is Amsterdam the city or there are two names for the country. I've heard that Detroit has the biggest Muslim community in the country. I'm sure that there must be numerous interesting Middle Eastern restaurants. There are. It's you get the best Middle Eastern food here. Oh, that's what I was saying, and I like Hamtramck. Now, you think of Dearborn as like Middle Eastern, but Hamtramck, I was there for an event last week, and it's like there you see the old Polish people there, which is what I think of as Hamtramck. So you have the Polish people there, the black people there. You have like I think it's a Yemen community, like the people in like totally covered up. It's just like an interesting interesting mix of people, but it kind of reminds me of New York. Like everybody is there, they're living, they're minding their business, and it's cool. It's just like it's stimulating. Like I feel like, oh, I'm in another country, and I like to travel. Oh, Holland and Amsterdam. I don't know what you said, Sonia, but I think you said. I mean, Netherlands and Holland. Yeah. So Holland, Netherlands are two different names for the country, and Amsterdam is a big city in that country, or major city, you know. But anyway, yeah, and I think the Dutch. I think that's their country. I don't know. Shoot. Anyway, I don't care that much. Okay, let's keep going. Wake Forest assistant coach faces assault charge after throwing deadly punch. So this is coming off the Grio. So I think that Dutch refers to the population. You're so smart. Um, oh dang, I didn't mean to do that. I mean, these color of change people are really, really on it. They're going to be in New York and Detroit, and they're doing a training, and I'm going because I'm kind of curious about who they are and what they're about. But I mean, this text and email communication, they are like very, very serious about it. So I came out of my news feed, so you know what that means. Habaragani. What's the word? Habaragani. Habaragani. When I say Habaragani, you say, when I say Habaragani, you bring the intelligence out of me, Sister Angela. Oh, it's this weekend. The color of change training is Umoja. Umoja is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And it started like at 9, and it's right in my neighborhood. So I signed up because I was kind of, I'm curious. Um, okay. Umoja, unity, oneness, integrity. Wake Forest assistant coach faces assault charges after throwing deadly punch. So this is coming off the Grio. So I don't know if it was like a black person who threw the punch. So he punched somebody and now the person is dead. Was he trying to kill him? Was it like a punch, 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 like, or was he like, I'm gonna punch you in your solar plexus? Because I think if you punch somebody in their solar plexus, you can actually kill them. But I don't know. Maybe punch. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, the story is coming off the Grio. So prayers out to the person who made their transition. Um, she's standing in the window wagging as he walking up. um, okay, so I don't know. Do I have a solar plexus too? Hey, Nikki. I think we all have. I think the solar plexus is like in this area. Get them, Bella. I think the solar plexus, because that's like one of those, like if it's like certain strike zones, and I think a lot of the strike zones actually align with chakras. So I think if you hit somebody in those key strike zones, you can like have a big effect. So yeah, I don't know. I should know that. I should know. I should know exactly where to hit somebody. I know to hit them in the right here in the throat as hard as I can, and to try to gouge out their eyes and clap their ears. That hurts. See, it even hurts me when I do it. I don't want to fight, but I had to learn a couple of things. I have to try to retain them too. Okay, Germany removes blanket ban on Nazi. I always thought it was Nazi, Natzi, but it's Nazi. Is that Nazi imagery in games? So I guess they used to have a thing, kick them in the nuts. Yeah, with that kind of like on the foot part, like in the ankle, but also this what is this thing called in the inside? I don't know what it's called. The kneecaps. Um, yeah, you can't really protect your throat, and that's probably about the good height for me with most people. Yeah. Um, the solar plexus is that meaty area in the front, in the base. Oh, at the front. Oh, this is the solar plexus down here. Oh. Um. Well, no, I'm. Yeah, because this is connected, protected by your rib cage. This probably isn't very good for me to hit because it's gonna hurt my little fist to be hitting somebody in their bones. Um, Okay. So I guess they used to, Shalom. Hey, I see. I guess they used to in Germany, they used to have a thing where like, look, you cannot put, in your video games and stuff, don't be having no Nazi characters. We're not here for that. We don't believe in that. And now they've lifted the ban. So you can put Nazi imagery in games. I guess that's what they're saying. That's coming off of Engadget.com. Researchers teach a computer to compose sonnets like Shakespeare. They said that Shakespeare composed, I think it was 154 sonnets in his lifetime. And they were like, that's a lot. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, wow, if you compose like a sonnet a week, it would take you about 3 years to compose 154 sonnets. I don't think I've ever composed a sonnet. I'm probably not going to start now and go for 3 years either. But just whether it's a sonnet or whatever, sometimes when you think of someone being really prolific in something, it seems like a lot. But sometimes if you just break it down like a little bit at a time, like, maybe you could become, the expert composer of Bonjour, Senor at Bonafide 1970. Nobody's called you Bona today. Bona. Okay. Um, Researchers teach a computer to compose. Oh, so researchers taught the computer to compose sonnets. That was the story, not just, but yeah. Yep, and I think that a lot of stuff, there's an art and a science to it. So I think that definitely a computer could handle the science part. Now the art part, the feeling part, I don't know. I don't know. So has there been another Shakespeare since? I'm sure there have been many Shakespeares. Was there ever a real Shakespeare? Some people say that Shakespeare is like an illusion, that was like several people, or that it's like this fairy tale of Shakespeare is some bullshit. I don't know. But I'm sure there have been. I think. Omarosa says there are tapes of Trump using the N word. Now, I didn't see the headline for this, but what I really wanted to talk about, and not really, I didn't really want to talk about it, except that I saw some place where Omarosa, her book is called Unhinged. She has a book coming out, and she said that she walked in on the president eating paper. So Zero was eating paper, and I just thought that was like a really interesting image. Like, I think there's this TV show called My Strange Addiction and like different things that people eat. When I was a little child, now don't tell anybody, but I used to like to eat chalk, like the off the chalkboard. And it tastes good. Like I can still taste the chalkiness now. I mean, I wouldn't eat chalk now, but I'm just saying, so maybe he's one of those people who, because I think he kind of grew up in an abusive type situation. So maybe that's part of how he handles his, we already know he says it. Oh, he says that he eats paper. I used to eat plaster. Right. We all have I guess weird habits. Hey sis, checking you out. Welcome, Nicole Reloaded. I used to eat that starch in a box. Starch, oh, like the people used to iron with? Yeah, I used to love some chalk. It's called pica. Okay. And my one of my husband's I used to eat fresh dirt when I was pregnant. I was just gonna say that one of my husband's wives one of my husband's wives used to eat dirt. So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that, it doesn't make me think, oh, he's definitely, I mean, there are other things that make me think that he's, crazy, a racist, a butthole, whatever. But eating paper, yeah, yeah. And I made a mistake and ate some X-Lax when I was young. Ooh. I remember hearing a story of somebody who was mad at somebody, and then was this a real story in my real life or was it a movie? But they fed them a chocolate cake with X-Lax. And then they had to lax they X. They had to X they lax. How X be, we've heard. Okay. I'm not surprised that there are tapes of I did too. I'm not surprised that this man uses the N word, and I use man loosely. I'm not surprised that there are tapes because I feel like they're like it's anything goes over there. So anyway, Turkey's lira crisis explained. Funny thing is solid by eating chalk, plain chalk. It's calcium carbonate, says Bonafide. is it? Is calcium carbonate good for something? So the lira is Turkey's form of currency. That's the name of their like money. And I guess they're having a lira crisis. Now the headline says that it's explained. When I skimmed the article, I didn't read it, but it said that basically I guess because the lira is having like a depressed time, a lot of people are going over there now to vacation because I guess your money goes further. And it just kind of reminded me of this concept that like it hit me once upon a time because at one point I was kind of like, "Oh my gosh, in the depression I allegedly gave X-Lax to my ex-husband after he cheated on me with my so-called best friend from the first grade. Allegedly. Allegedly. I'm not one to gossip, and you did hear it from me, but allegedly, um, yeah. So that when I used to hear about like the depression, I'm like, oh my gosh, in the depression it was so bad for everyone, it was so hard, it was a depression. And then at some point, after I was grown, I realized, oh, during the depression there were some people who were thriving, there were some people who benefited from the depression. And so it just kind of reminds me that when somebody is having a bad time, there's somebody having a good time. We sitting here chilling on the YouTube, and there's somebody who's like in deep intense distress right now, who's like having a really skitty situation going on. And I guess, shoot, there's somebody that's like just woohoo having like, if we think we having fun, we don't even really think we having fun, but they just having like woo. So it's like whatever it is that anybody is going through, there are other people who are going through. You never know what other people are going through, and as bad or as good as it is for you, it could be as bad or as good, or and just the in just the opposite way. It could be as bad or as good. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. um the little old ones. Belgium's retirement home for elderly animals. Y'all, Bella been sitting me real hard today. Like she know I'm about to leave. I mean, like, I got in the car and I was in and out. Hey, family, it's Friday. Hey, look like the sun. Is it Friday? I keep thinking it's Saturday. It's Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I don't know. The days of the week run together. Bella, where are you? I was trying to show you her. She's sitting down there sleeping, and she been you know she been hard, holding down hard with me. It makes me kind of sad because I think she does know. I think she knows. Okay, so Belgium has retirement home for elderly dogs. Hala Shiha, Egyptian actress, returns without the hijab. So I just think I continue to think it's really interesting how it's news what a woman wears. Ego ain't flying for me. I'm broke now. Somebody hook me up, says Sonia Sees. Um, okay. Hook a sister up. Um, so yeah, I just kind of feel like I just, and this is coming off the BBC. So I guess this woman is an actress. She used to be covered and now she's not covered. And that's news. And I'm actually reporting it too. Can Black America trust Silicon Valley's new content police departments? No. Have any of these systems worked for us in this country? No, no. Now they can really see if she can act. Oh, she doesn't have the hijab on. I don't. That's coming off of Moguldom, which is a black blog. I don't even know why they frame their headline like that, like asking that question, because I feel like, yeah, okay. Fredericton shooting, 4 dead, including 2 police in Canada. So, prayers out to the people who made their transition in Canada and their families and community. I don't know what's up with the Fredericton shooting. Fredericton shooting. I don't know what's up with that. But 4 people have made their transition. Samsung is trying to make Dex X happen. I mean DX happen. So that's like where you can take like your Were they family folk? No, I don't think so. This is coming off of the BBC. Absolutely not. We cannot trust any kind of police department, physical or agent. I mean, physical or digital. Right. Don't trust any of the agents. This is coming off of the BBC. Facts Bonafide says Sonia sees. Bonafide said absolutely not. Um, so like what they're saying, this DXDE capital X, they're saying, look, we take our phones everywhere. So your phone is like a little computer. So you should be able to take your phone and plug it into a screen any place and just get a keyboard, a virtual keyboard, and type and have like your computer in your phone. And I guess a lot of different companies have tried this and it hasn't really like taken off, but they're just like, it's going to take off. That's what Samsung is saying. Now, I type on my phone all the time. I write on my phone. I do. So I love the idea because I feel like I always have my phone with me and I don't have to carry a bunch of other stuff with me. I know I'm going to have my phone with me. And when I have a moment or, if I want, I can, you know, my fingers are too big. Go ahead with the BlackBerry. I know. And I hope that the next one, and see, the thing about my BlackBerry is that it has, y'all can't see it. Y'all see it over there? Now, Docs to Go is like it's like a word processing program like Microsoft Word or something. The only problem with it is that sometimes when I send my docs to go to people, every once in a while somebody just totally can't read it or the formatting is off. Even though I formatted it in my thing, it'll be off. But I think that's because it's a BlackBerry. I don't think it's because of something with Docs to Go. I think that the app just hasn't been updated because it's a BlackBerry. Who does apps for BlackBerries? Who updates apps for BlackBerries? But I love it. I love it. I love it. I really, I love it. I love having my, a word processing document, on my phone. And when I got my tablet, I was like, oh, I'll get the word. And I think it was like, I don't know. It was probably like just $2. No, well, they're talking about, I think it's like cable connectors without cables. But but I think when I first got a tablet, I was like, oh, I'll get the same thing for my tablet. And it might have just been $2, but I was just like, what? They want to charge me money? It might have been 12 or $15. Among Samsung's two big launches this week, both the Galaxy Note 9 and the Tab S4 feature DX mode, a desktop-friendly interface for Android devices that the company has been working on since 2017's Galaxy S8. In fact, since the introduction of the DX dock with Galaxy S8 last year, Samsung has continued to expand the DX portfolio, adding new hardware alongside minor compatibility and software updates. This company is clearly investing in making this a thing, even when numerous tech companies in the past have failed to succeed at smartphone powered desktops. Why? Samsung's rationale is something we've heard many times before. People aren't confined to offices anymore. Hey, Kendrick, how are you? My day was pretty good. Hey, somebody else is in there. Hi, I didn't see your name. And you don't even look familiar to me from what I could see. Raquel! Oh my gosh! Hey! Hi, Raquel. Oh, call me, girl, call me. I still remember when I got your dress and I wore it for my debutante ball. It was a white dress. Do you remember that? Hey, girl, hey. Oh, I miss you. Oh, okay. I love you. Okay, okay. So I'm constantly writing and we're trying to figure out it's the idea of a pocketable laptop like machine. So you don't have to carry a laptop around. That's what they're saying. Raquel, get out here causing all of I'm glad you're here, sis. It's good to see your name. Um, okay. Oh, look here, Bona. You see the cable connecting it to the screen? So did that answer your question? Okay. So they're saying it's got a lot of glitches. It's very glitchy, but still, cool. Okay. Watch the launch of NASA's Parker Solar Probe tomorrow at 3:33 a.m. Eastern Time. Those of you who know me know that 3 is my favorite number, and that 333 is like significant. It's three threes. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I have no idea what the Parker Solar Probe is tomorrow. Launched at 3:33 a.m. That's it. Yemen war, Saudis to probe airstrike child deaths. Illuminati. Is that the 333? Is am I Illuminati? I might be Illuminati and I don't wow, I want a favorite number too. Well, I'll tell you, I'll make a suggestion. I don't know what day you were born, but I was born on the 3rd. So that's how 3 came to be my favorite number. So maybe start with that. Fired Florida bus driver. Lotto numbers. 7. See? 777 could be your number. Isn't there like something in the Bible that says 7 times 7 or something? Is it? I don't know. Don't think I'm a heathen. I just don't know. Fired Florida bus driver fights for job, drunk racist passenger. Bonafide says, yes, I think I can already do that with my phone. I've never done it though. My phone screen is big enough. 70 times 70. But 7 and 70, even though on some level they're not the same number, numerologically they are the 70. It's the same thing. Same thing. Okay. Um this bus driver in Florida, and I was having a conversation about how people try to goad you into fighting them. They try to like goad. I was watching House of Cards, and it was like, the one guy was like, "You are, all you should do is get on your knees and suck me off," and I was like, "Oh!" And the guy was like, "Oh!" And he hit him, and then it was like that's what the guy who was goading him wanted him to do, and so somebody was saying that a lot of times people are trying, or that white people are trying to goad us into certain types of behavior, like when they're like nigger, that they're trying to get us like all upset so we do something and then we get in trouble. So that's what it seems like might have happened to this bus driver. He was fired after he pummeled a drunk racist passenger. So the passenger got on and he was just, I guess the guy felt like he was out of line, and so he pummeled him. And I think pummeling is like repeated punches. And so he's fighting for his job. Good for him. Um, mm, 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 mhm. German police save man from baby squirrel terror. Y'all know I have a complex with squirrels. I've had a couple of interactions with squirrels and they stress me out a little bit. Like at one point, I used to put, like, when I would buy trail mix, I would put like the leftovers on my fire escape when I lived in New York. And then one morning I woke up, my bed was on the floor. I woke up and I turned and it was a squirrel looking at me. Pummel sounds a little like humble. To make somebody humble. Right. And there was a squirrel standing right next to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, get out of here. Ah! And the squirrel ran away, ran out the window. I closed the window, kept the windows closed. And then the squirrel would come back and it would chew on the windows for like months. It would just like be out there. Like, you better let me in so I can get some more of these nuts. And it's like I'm never giving a squirrel nuts again because it kind of scared me. But this article was saying that if a baby, as an alternative, if a baby squirrel is in distress, there were two situations. Like, I think if they lose their parent or they're in distress, they might fixate on one particular human and just chase them around. And so that's what had happened to this man. German police save a man from baby squirrel terror. This baby squirrel was like chasing this man around. What if a baby squirrel fixated on me? And I already am not like a fan of squirrels. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'd ever be able to go out of the house again. And then look at this picture. Who was it? Sonia who said a rat with a tail? It fell asleep after tiring itself out chasing chasing the caller. Officers in the southwestern city responded to a call for help. The creature still terrorizing the caller. The squirrel was taken into custody after it abruptly fell asleep. Oh, I don't know who said it. It wasn't Sonia. The rodent has become their new mascot. Posted. Okay. Is it? Oh, here it is. Squirrels are known to chase after humans when in need of food or help. It can be pretty scary. The caller was feeling threatened. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would really stress me out. Bonafide said, I've never even seen a baby squirrel. It's just one of those things you don't see, like a baby pigeon. It was me. Yeah. Probably because they usually be in their nest, I guess. Head teacher busted sitting students exam. So this is like somewhere in Alkebalan. This all the way grown up person who was a teacher, who was a head teacher. Let's say I'm like a 15-year-old student or 18-year-old student. This teacher was sitting the exam for me, and this teacher tried to put on a child's uniform so that he would blend in. I think it was a man, so that he would blend in better taking my test for me. Y'all see Bella? Hey, Bella. Yeah, Bella's sweet. So the head teacher was busted taking the students' exam. And in these countries, like in countries in Alkebalan and other parts of the world, these exams are really, really serious. Like the SAT is kind of, and the ACT is kind of serious here, but there are other exams that they have. Bella on Coon Watch. Lena Waithe reveals the surprising reason why she decided, oh, I thought it was a squirrel. I know, fixating on me. I'd be like, ah! Lena Waithe reveals the surprising reason why she decided to cut off her locks. I didn't even realize Lena Waithe had locks, but they're like her distinctive, locks. And she said that because she's lesbian, gay, whatever, that she kept her hair relatively long because she did not want anyone who was like butch. Like, she just felt like it would be too stereotypical. So she was trying to keep a little bit of femininity. So she just decided she should just cut her hair and be who she is. Because I feel like if she want her hair cut, she should. If she want her hair short, she should. Y'all see that? I am like endlessly fascinated. It's like one little piece of black hair, and then it's surrounded by the gray. Who is this? Who is who? Oh, Lee Way. She is she's like a writer and maybe a showrunner. She has a show on maybe Showtime called The Chi. And she's also written for Masters of the Universe, Masters of None, and she got one of these big white awards for her writing or an episode or something. So she's like a up and coming, well known, respected black writer type woman person. You know, you know. Oh, she looks hard. Oh, yeah. I mean, Oh, FDA approves contraceptive app, Natural Cycles. So it just tracks for women. It just tracks what's going on. You know how people use the rhythm method? It seems like an app for the rhythm method. 6 breastfeeding hacks to make nursing your baby a whole lot easier. This actually wasn't supposed to be on my news feed. I was trying to send it to a friend of mine who was pregnant, and it just ended up on the news feed. But if you're interested, oh, one thing she told me that I did not know. Excuse me for one moment, please. One thing she told me that I don't. She was talking about just how hard it is for the babies to latch on. Why does the FDA need to approve an app? Right, that's a good question. I didn't even think about that. Is the FDA regularly in the habit of approving apps? It says contraceptive app. Is it an app? I think it's like a computer app. Send it to IOPO. I'm still out in the street. You in these streets? Okay, so anyway. Omarosa claims she walked in on Trump. Oh, it was on my news feed. I said, yeah, eating a piece of paper in the Oval Office, which surprised her since he's a germaphobe. She trying to get all of the gossip. Is anybody buying her book? I'm not buying her book. Somebody was like, who else can she sell out? She done sold out the black people. She done sold out her massa. Who else she gonna sell out? I heard that on the radio, but they were quoting somebody else. I remember that I was watching when she was on Celebrity Big Brother, and they had that scene where she was like, where the person was like, "Is everything okay?" And she's like, No, it's not okay. She just tried to sell her book. Right. And she was so like fake and dramatic. And I'm like, they know the mics are on them, especially because it was right at the beginning of the season. Ain't nobody forgot the mics are on them. I don't even watch Big Brother. But I happened to see that that moment. I'm like, she is so fake. She gonna tell us what she already know, what we already know. No thanks. And who wants to give Omarosa money? Oh my gosh. Oh, ugh. Miss Thing. Okay, sit down. Who wants to give Omarosa money? I mean, I'm just wondering. Wildfire smoke from California. Listen to this. Wildfire smoke from California is so extreme that it's reached the East Coast. Not I. Big Brother is watching you, says Ayapo. I see says not I, as in I don't want to give money to Omarosa. I shouldn't even say her name. I don't even want to say her name. Bonafide says, we're all on Big Brother, whether we watch it or not. Right, because Big Brother is, as Ayapo said, watching you. Okay. Wildfire smoke from California is so extreme that it's reached the East Coast. Here's what it looks like from space. That's deep. So they have images from space according to this headline. I hadn't read the story, but you can see the smoke from California all the way on the East Coast. That's intense. That seems pretty intense. That's coming off of Google, so you could probably Google that. GPS satellite essential to Space Force has been delayed again. Former Tesla engineering lead Doug Field is back with Apple. I told y'all like a couple few months ago, like this guy from Tesla, I'm like not really impressed, and it seemed like he's like, I don't. France floods, 1,600 evacuated, German missing at campsite. So France is having major floods. 1,600 people have been evacuated, and a German is missing from a campsite. So I guess prayers out, although only you can prevent wildfires. I was gonna say prayers out to the people in France, although I'm like a big on France and things French because of among I mean I don't know why I'm fixated on them any worse than any other European country, but I guess because I love Haiti so much. And then this I just don't understand how come. I know I always say this. Hello, Ayapo. I just don't understand how come this Haiti paying money to France, and then I remember I was having this not only Haiti but all of these French speaking formerly countries that were formerly colonized and currently colonized, neo-colonialized, currently colonized by France, who are paying France money. And then people want to talk about, oh, they have such a good quality of living in France, and the people get 18 weeks a year of vacation in France, and they take such good care of their people in France on the backs of my people. I don't like it. I don't like France. I don't like none of the colonizers. I don't like it. I don't like exploitation. Boo! Photos leak of 3.3-inch Palm branded Android phone. So remember when Blackberries were all the rage, and right before that, Palm Pilots were all the rage? They're like doing some retro thing with that. That's on Haiti at this point. They need to just shut that down. Oh, poor white France. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to understand. It's sort of like, now we done fought, and y'all know I've said that all the time. We done fought for 10 years for our freedom, and we fought for our freedom. So it's like when you come over, however many years later, and you like, look, you gonna pay us, then I'd be like, forget it. I'm fighting again. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired from fighting. And maybe when you came back, it wasn't just you, but you and six of your friends. I don't know how it worked. I always wanted to understand, like, I'm like, how did that deal ever even get worked out? Bella looking, oh, she looking at the car. How did that deal even get worked out? Because I feel like I just wish that we had been like, nah, F it. I'm going to fight till I die. I'm not going to be enslaved economically. I'm not going to be enslaved in my body. Forget it. I'm not here for it. I fight. I protest. I resist. No. That's what I wish had happened. Migrants are being lured to their deaths because Facebook is not shutting down trafficking pages, says police chief. India MP, Bella is listening intently. She's not looking at me. It looks like it, but she's looking past me. India MP Um, Shocks with Hitler costume protest in Parliament. MP. It's not a military police. I think it's like one of their like congressional legislative type people. I don't know. I can't remember what MP stands for now. So I'm not sure what the Hitler costume protest was about, but anyway, you can find out on bbc.co UK/news. A drug called monkey dust, which causes people to eat faces and jump from buildings, is spreading in the UK. Here's what it is. To eat faces and jump from buildings. It's a drug that causes you to eat faces and jump from buildings. Has anybody read Octavia Butler's Parables? Doesn't this remind you of that stuff where the people would set themselves and other people on fire? Pyro, I think, was the drug in Octavia Butler's book. What the F, says Icy? I know. I think pyro was the name of the drug in Octavia Butler's book. But anyway, there's monkey dust for you. Monkey see, monkey do. NFL players anthem protests resume. So I guess it's like still the pre-games or whatever, the preseason. It's the preseason. And the people is on their knee. And I say good for them. They think they own people and they trying to run people and they not going to resist. I heard about something like that. It's called monkey, but it's not called monkey dust. Sounds like one of those zombie movies, right? It sounds like a movie, and it probably has various names. You know what I mean? A lot of times drugs will have a whole bunch of different names. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Videos show huge floods washing through France, forcing thousands from their homes. Thousands. That's a lot of people. Kanye West was asked to explain his support for Trump in a wild interview with Jimmy Kimmel. I didn't see it. And replied, "You can't explain love." Now, that's not the quote. I saw a little clip. Dang, I can't remember. It seemed like he was saying several foolish things, but isn't that who he is and what he does? Is Kanye saying and doing something dumb news still? Kanye is news. Okay. I guess I just reported it. Chicago police under fire after bait truck used to lure thieves. So they put a truck in the hood. Why are they still talking to him? Why are they still talking to him? Right? They put a truck like a 18 wheel. Is it an 18 wheeler or 16 wheeler? You know, like one of those big trucks in the hood, with Air Jordans in it. And they said that there were some people who were like stealing Air Jordans from. They say that they were trying to catch people who were stealing Jordans from the story doesn't even make sense, because it's like, if the people were stealing the Jordans over here, then why are you going to put the bait truck in the hood? That's not where the people were stealing the Jordans from. Why don't you go do your work where you say the crime is happening, instead of trying to create crime and create criminals and setting up the black folks, as IC says, in the neighborhood? Why are you doing that? That's why nobody respects you and trusts you. Not that you care that anybody respects you or trusts you, because you're doing your job, which is to harass and terrorize and try to keep black folks in line. That's so dumb. Like, y'all, have y'all seen that show where it's called Bait Car? I don't know what it's called, but they'll like put a car in a neighborhood with the key in it and the door unlocked and open. They just need to leave poor Kanye alone. Hopefully he'll get the help he needs. I'm not joking. I actually feel that he's struggling on a deep psychological level. I agree. He's clearly no more body snatching. Um, right. I don't even know why anybody's checking for him or paying attention to him, because I feel like clearly like what he's not saying, he don't have anything to say to any, yeah. There's this so they put the key in the car and leave the car door open, and then they arrest somebody for getting in the car and taking it. And I feel like that's entrapment. That's some bullshit. I don't agree with that. I think that's like, that's not, I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't even, we talked about this before, now that I'm saying this, even if I saw a car with a key in it, I wouldn't get it in and be like, oh, it's mine. But there are a lot of people who would not just independently break into a car and try to hotwire it. Snare Jordans instead of Air Jordans. Some people are so clever. Um, did you think that up in advance, or you just thought that up on the spot? That's illegal for me to leave a key in my car, even if it's mine. Is that true? Somebody in Michigan got arrested. He had turned his car on in his driveway in the wintertime, which is what we do to warm the car up. So by the time you get in the car, it's warm. And you can, the ice has started melting and stuff like that. He got a ticket for warming his car up in his driveway, and maybe it was for having the key in it unattended. But the whole point is you don't want to be in the car when it's cold. Um, okay. So the police are under fire. Okay, Ryan airstrike. 1 in 6 flights. It's the damn cops playing games on our people. We need to get on code and teach our youth. Right. Ryan airstrike. 1 in 6 flights canceled and pilot walkout. So one woman said she was going to her best friend's wedding, and that she happened to find out that the flight was canceled. And then they're talking about, well, we can get you there Sunday. She's like, that's not going to help me because my best friend's wedding is on Saturday. Um, but not as good as sweet Stephanie Sadie Hawkins, right? Okay. So I'm always here for a strike. I'm always here for workers getting together and unifying. I just am. I just am. I'm here for the people. Power to the people. Power to the workers. I'm not here for the corporations, for the owners. Yeah, I'm here for people getting together and working together and uniting. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, fam. You be Angela. Right. And if you came in late, remember that once it's uploaded, you can loop back and see, what you missed. And if you have to leave early, remember once it's uploaded, you can come back later and just watch what you pick up where you left off. Okay, let me try to hurry up because I got things to do. China mosque demolition sparks standoff in Nicosia. Ain't nobody rewinding nothing, says Sonia Sees. So there's a mosque in China, and it took them 2 years to build it. And now that the mosque is built, the Chinese government is saying y'all didn't get the proper permits. And the people are like, oh no, we're not here for you demolishing our mosque, because if we didn't have the proper permits, why didn't you stop the building when it was 1 month in, 1 year in? Why you wait till we finish the mosque to then be talking about demolishing it? Oh no, we're not here for it. So they're protesting it. A black person jogging down the street. Okay. A creepy viral WhatsApp meme called Momo is scaring kids, worrying police, and has been linked to at least one death. I don't understand it. A meme? That's just pure vindictiveness. How is a meme linked to a death? Why is a meme worrying the police? I could understand why a meme would scare children. So I don't know. Does anybody know anything about this Momo? I didn't read the story. It's coming off of Google. Okay, blue light emitted from smartphones and laptops accelerates blindness by making a molecule in our eyes toxic, according to a new study. I don't know. Is my old BlackBerry emitting blue light? Is it making me blind? Are my devices against me? Are your devices against you? So we need to just, I guess just be minimizing the amount of time that we're spending with these devices. Stop trying to make me feel guilty at Ayapo, says Sonia Sees. You can download the blue light filter. They said something in this article about the blue light filter. So does this thing have a blue light? This light look white. Is it blue? I don't know. Okay, let me hurry up. It's almost 9 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Tour de France winner Jan Ullrich held for prostitute assault. So one, I was kind of confused by the headline. I think this is the main thing. What's the difference between, why is it called prostitute assault instead of just assault? Like, is there like a special category if you assault someone who works as a prostitute? I was just confused by that. Cows allowed to visit Swedish nudist beaches in heat wave. So they're having a heat wave in Sweden. Y'all know Europe is so small. I guess all of this stuff is going on in the same area. you know, the different heat waves and stuff. So the people, the nudists on their nudist beach, because this is actually, oh, nudist beaches, you can switch off the blue lights on your settings and make the screen black and white. Oh, my screen has blue on it. I'm going blind. Am I going blind? I'm already blind. See, I can't see. This is the eye I can't see out of, and then I'm blind in this one. So the nudists, they go to the beach and they swim, and now that it's a heat wave, the government is like, look, if you got cows, you can take them to the beaches. And I guess some of the beaches they go to are the nudist beaches, the people who had the cows. And then the nudists are like, well, it's unsanitary for us to be swimming in this beach with these cows. And so they like, look, you know, we gonna try to, you know, accommodate you. And if you see, you know, cow owners, if you see people on the beach, don't take your cows in. But I feel like the cows, they gotta live too. My mom told me I would go blind, but it wasn't from looking at a phone. Cows at the beach. Moo, says I see. Ayapo is the one that had said his mom told him he was gonna go blind, but not from looking at a phone. Did somebody tell you your palms were gonna get hairy too? Ayapo, Ayapo Yapa. Okay. France flood, 1,600 forced to evacuate. We talked about that. Exclusive, Omar J. Dorsey speaks on Queen Sugar renewal and new showrunner. So Queen Sugar has been renewed, I think it's season 4, and they have a new showrunner. So the showrunner that they have is someone who's been in the writer's room, according to the article. The people are excited. I can't remember his name, but the people were excited. Okay. Video released of Nashville officer fatally shooting black man in the back. That's coming off of the Grio if you're interested in that article. I think I've decided, you know, I've been having this ongoing conversation now for the last like week, maybe 3 or 4 days, just about like the concept of imagery and how an image is worth 1,000 words, and how a lot of times, you know, or more than 1,000 words never happen. One advantage of being ambidextrous. You know, just the power of images is really too much. The power of images, and that we see the images and we think, and the story says, oh, this is a bad thing. But we're also seeing the images of us being killed, of us being shot, of us being lynched. And so it puts in our head that this is, it puts a visual in our head of, and it normalizes, you know, our abuse, our the demeaning of us, the killing of us, the murdering of us, the terrorizing of us. And so, you know, I just, yeah. Okay. An eco-friendly hostel in Panama has a slide that goes straight into the ocean. Just think what our ancestors went through 24/7. Yeah. A denim brand is selling $565 shorts. That's really all I wanted to say. I'm going to read the rest of the headline. But $565 for a pair of shorts that make you look like you're wearing 2 pairs at once. And that's the other part of the foolishness. So one is $565 for a pair of shorts, and then it makes you look like you're wearing 2 pairs of shorts at once. Now, I feel like if this was a sitcom, I'd be like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then the next scene, everybody's wearing 2 pairs of shorts at once. And I'm like, I want to look like I'm wearing 2 pairs of shorts. It just sounds so dumb to me. $565. But I guess it just depends on like what your, you know, how you living, you know. It must give some kind of orgasm. Yeah. Yeah. Melania Trump's Slovenian parents become U.S. citizens. We all heard about that. In chain migration, which the zero is opposed to. France flood, 1,600 evacuated, Germany missing at campsite. Black man attacked with bike lock, called the N-word days before DC rally. That's coming off the Grio if you're interested in that story. China hints at a 3-child policy with happy family stamps. So I guess they have a 2-child policy now, so maybe it's going to be a 3-child policy. It's getting dark, Angela. I know. It's so sad. There are boats floating above my head in Times Square. They're talking about like artwork and like projection of stuff. A picture is worth 1,000 words. A video is worth 1,000,000 words. Indeed, they are normalizing the perception of terrorism committed against our people since Bonafide 1970. The U.S. says it's talking with North Korea virtually every day, but they're getting nowhere, which is such a shock and a surprise. France flood. Okay, Saudi 29 children, 1 in 6 flights. Hamas and Israel reportedly reached ceasefire after violent exchange in Gaza left 3 dead. It was like a woman and a child killed in not in Israel but in, I guess, Hamas in Palestine. So prayers out to the people who lost their life, and just, people who are struggling for freedom and dignity and the sanctity of their land and the sanctity of their relationships and the sanctity of, their history and their connection. There were more than 3 deaths, says IC. We rise together, homie. Black worker fired for viral video commentary supporting Mexican workers. Y'all know I'm here for it. I'm here for people uniting. I'm here for, I feel like we get trained in a way to be like, oh, we hate Mexicans, or, the immigrants are this. And I feel like really it's just like, rich white men with property and power are like out here benefiting, and we out here fighting each other, or not all of us, but like I'm here for us uniting and being clear on who, if there is an enemy, who the enemy is, and it is not each other. They got electricity for 2 hours. They get electricity for 2 hours a day. Oh, Israel, Palestine. Nailed It host Nikki Byer opens up about racism she experienced on her own set. Houston grandmother shoots masturbating burglar. It seemed like he was riding his bike, masturbating and burgling. I mean, that's like some multitasking right there. This story is coming off the Grio. I can't get into it. But I skimmed it and I was kind of like, it just seemed like a lot. Store clerk in Santa Fe called police on student because he is arrogant and black. The problem is that every group uses us for support, and then when we need them, crickets. Master biking. Oh, those were both from Ayapo. Woman detained in Slovenia for playing Verdi for 16 years. So I think Verdi is some kind of music. She's been playing it loud for 16 years and her neighbors are upset, so they arrested her. For 16 years. I remember when my cousin got, and I am telling you, the soundtrack for Dreamgirls. And that, I'm telling you, she used to play that over and over again. And I know that song by heart. I can sing it. I'm not going. You're the best man I've ever known. And there's no way I could ever go. No, 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 no way. And she just played it over. No, 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 no way. And over. I'm living without you. And over again. So 16 years of somebody playing that? Because I think she might, maybe it was 6 days. Maybe it was 6 months. Maybe it was 6 hours. But to me, it felt like forever. 16 years of somebody playing it. That's a lot. Yay! Arrest made in New Mexico compound as authorities searched for missing toddler. So this whole New Mexico situation I talked about the last 2 times we had notes on the news, these are black people, and these are highly melanated black people. Remember, it was like 11 children who were in a compound, and they called and said, we starving and we need water. And then they got in the compound. Who? What? And I am telling you, I'm not going. She only said it to one guy. Who? I'm confused. Okay, filed under Water is Wet. Y'all know how I'm like in Not News Today, or in, or what else do we say? We say something else. You, and 3 guys. And I am telling you, and you, and you're gonna look, right? Why was she saying it to 3? She's saying it to emphasize you're gonna love me. The white meth head Montana woman who forced a guy to have oral sex at gunpoint, says Sonia Sees. I don't know. Yeah, that song is really strange. It's like really intense and stalkerish. And like, how you gonna make somebody love you? But I felt it, like when I saw that movie. I never saw the play, but when I saw the movie, I was like, oh, my finger was in 3D. When I saw the movie, I was like, oh, and I felt it. Filed under Water is Wet, uneducated divorce losers are most likely to become white nationalists. Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico acknowledges hundreds died. Hundreds? I thought it was thousands. Here's how Aldi, so rest in peace to people who made their transition. Here's how Aldi grew from a corner store in Germany to one of the biggest supermarket chains in the world. I do like Aldi. I think that's my favorite grocery store. It looks like it's not just crushing student loans holding millennials back anymore. It's also their aging parents. Look how dark it is. North Korea heat wave. Kim Jong-un strips to his vest. I love Aldi also, says IC. Racist couple attacks black man with car, threatening to run him over for parking on their street. But wait a second, did anybody see the woman? I'm like, the woman looks, does she look black? She looks blackish to me. Did y'all see the woman? She looked like the child on Underground who was supposed to be white, but we were all like, she black. You still look beautiful, even in the dark. Some people are so flirty. Okay. August 9th, 2008, after a week of unsuccessful medical treatment, Bernie Mac dies. So rest in peace to Bernie Mac. I really like the Bernie Mac show. August 9th, 2003, Gregory Hines dies at 57. Did y'all ever see White Nights? I didn't know anything about 24-hour daylight and 24-hour nightlight in parts of the world until I saw white, I think it's called White Nights. And I used to love to see Gregory Hines in movies and tap dancing. I don't know. It was like, I just thought he was so awesome. So rest in peace. Yes, you do look beautiful, Angela. I guess Bella is asleep now. Nope, she's sitting here. She, thank you. You look like E.T. in the dark. She's shuffling. Oh my gosh, it's getting dark fast. Medical hack poses pacemaker risk. I have no idea what that is. Kiki challenged men. These are additions, limited time only at participating restaurants. Kroger wants to know. Kroger. Kiki challenged men told to clean station. I have no idea what that means. Red light. I think this is the only light I got. That's the only light I got. A Malaysian minister orders removal of LGBT portraits from exhibition. A 23-year-old man drowned at a bachelor party while trying to stay underwater longer than his friends. I always feel sad when I hear about stuff like that. Like, not to say somebody is stupid, like I guess they just called themselves having fun, but it just seems like a senseless, kind of situation to me. Meanwhile, in Australia, there's talk about putting rhinos in the outback. I just know of the restaurant Outback. I don't really know that much about Australia. What? Preventable death? So sad. Yeah. A U.S. woman failed a drug test after eating a poppy seed bagel. Ooh, I used to love me some poppy seed. I love me some poppy seed bagels. That was my favorite bagel. That was my favorite bagel. And I did he get held underwater? I think the Outback is the wild in Australia. I think that he was just holding his breath, but this story is coming off of Google Feed Proxy. Snapchat dysmorphia is a disturbing new phenomena where people want to look more like their filtered selfies. Bella, I don't want you sitting on me. You can sit next to me right here. Me too. Love poppy seed and everything bagels too. Yeah. I stopped eating them because a long time ago I heard that they'll test as I think it was cocaine, heroin, something. They'll test as a drug in your Australians are scary, says Sonia Seeds. It'll test as a drug in your system. But I like poppy seed. Poppy seed is heroin. Okay, says Sonia Seeds. Yeah. Snapchat, so you want like you take the picture of yourself and then you filter it so that you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, that's how I want to look in real life. And they you would fail a drug test, and then people, I guess, are stressed because they have envy of their Snapchat filters, right? Bonafide. And it's called Snapchat dysmorphia, I guess. Exercise is good for our mental health, but more isn't always better. I think they said about a half hour or hour a day is good. If you're doing more than 3 hours of exercise a day, they said it's not good. Now, 3 hours of exercise a day does seem like a lot to me. That's why you like them, because they got me high. the millions of Hindu devotees walking across India. When I was in India, I was endlessly fascinated by the pilgrims who would be on pilgrimages. So you would be like on the train, and then like a bunch of people would get on. I'm talking about a train like going across country, like a 24-hour train ride, and then people would start getting on. Like you might have 20 people get on at one stop, 50 people get on another stop, 5 or 10, but eventually it would be like a million, or like 100 or 200 people would be on the train, and they would all be wearing orange, and they would be like on pilgrimage going someplace. And it was just so fascinating to me, because I feel like you don't see, for some reason it just seemed like people's spiritual and religious practices were like very much on display, and very much like just a part of like the walking around society. It was really, I was just fascinated by it. Hollywood hits back at new Oscars popular film category. The people are saying that because Black Panther made so much money, instead of like, they trying to have a category, like now that the black film is like in contention, they trying to come up with like a ghetto for the black films. No. Shower porn. New Zealand man pleads guilty after filming 34 women. I would like to pilgrimage one day, yeah. The man, I think he was having people stay like at his B&B type, what is this thing, Airbnb type situation, and they would say, when people would be like, yeah, I'm going to take my shower around 3, he would ask them, or I don't know why they were telling him, how, I don't know how the system was set up, but then he was filming them, and he was uploading it on like onto the internet, and he would be like, yeah, this is a woman from Detroit who is a writer or whatever. He was like giving descriptions of people, and most of it would be like from the neck down, but sometimes people's faces would be in there. Leons? Why Leons? Ayapo, they shouldn't call him he should get 34 ass whoopings. He should get 30, at least 34 times 34. Out here filming people without their consent, when they're filming women without their consent when they're naked, and loading it up on the internet. The disrespect, that's yeah. I'm a criminal for wearing a full face veil. So again, we're talking about women being, like just like the intense interest and concern about what women are wearing. If she got on, we were talking the other day about somebody who got kicked out of a mall because they had on too little clothes. This woman got on too many clothes. We don't hear nothing about, did the people be on the men so hard about what they wearing? Look, my voice is getting all high. I'm getting upset. I'm just saying. Yemen war, children killed in airstrike on bus. Prayers out. Lombok earthquake, death toll rises to 259 amid rescue efforts. They're going to take off these full face veils, says Love Like the Sun. So we knew there was the couple earthquakes. You're beautiful when you're angry. We knew there were a couple earthquakes in Lombok, but I didn't know that the death toll was 259. That is a lot. To me, that's a lot of people. So again, prayers out to the people dealing with I think that's in Indonesia, Lombok, Lombok. Willow Creek, church leaders quit over sexual misconduct scandal. LeBron James, who we love, receives backlash for celebrating powerful colored women. I think he said something about black women or colored women. He liked them, and the people are like, oh my gosh, how can you say such a thing? Like when YouTube tried to tell me to moderate somebody for saying black women, somebody said black women need love, and YouTube was like, you want to moderate this comment? I'm like, no, what's the issue here? WTF, bait truck filled with Nike sneakers allegedly used to entrap Chicago teens. The impending L train apocalypse has rents in Williamsburg plunging. So they just finding out, like, kind of like the L train is going to be shut down for like, I think it was 18 months. Kate say something great about a black woman. I know, I don't even know what he said, but whatever. So they're saying that the rents are going to be low because nobody's going to want to live. Because first of all, wherever the L train goes, especially when it's like out in the boonies, like in Brooklyn, it's probably the only train out there. How you going to get back and forth unless you work in Williamsburg? So the people are like, oh, we're not going to live in Williamsburg. We got to go someplace else. White women come first, says Sonia Sees. I don't know that. For some people, they do. He said colored women. He really should have said black women. It seems like everybody wants, like nobody wants to say black anything anymore at Bonafide. I'm black, black, blackity black. I love black, black, blackity black. So that's what's going on in Williamsburg. For now, Army suspends discharges of immigrant recruits. That L train needs to go. Every stop is behind God's back. Get rid of the L train. But what if you live in the area? How do you get back and forth? I used to live off of the I love black. Always bet on black. Right at Bonafide. Say black. Anybody can be colored, says Sonia Sees. Ayapo says he loves black. Israeli airstrikes kill woman and toddler. We talked about that. Prayers out. More than 150 rockets were launched from the Gaza Strip overnight, and Israel retaliated with deadly airstrikes. I wondered about that headline and the accuracy of it. It sounded like propaganda to me. Take a dollar van or Uber pool. Oh, ain't nobody colored LeBron. But we still love LeBron, don't we? I love LeBron still. Sort of, in that abstract, I don't really know him way. You don't need a Roku to watch Roku's free movies. NYC will cap the number of Uber and Lyft vehicles on its streets. Regular exercise best for mental health. The Brazilian criminals learning crochet in prison. The mentally ill 29-year-old helped to die by Dutch doctors. Remembering Kim Sani Maseko, who fought South African campus rape. So do I. I love my blackness, says Bonafide 1970. So this was a young black, I think she was a South African woman, and she fought campus rape. She said she got raped and then she killed herself. That's what the story seems like. It's that school brought him a lot of capital with me. He better not blow it, says Ayapo Yapa about LBJ, King James. Is that what they call him? King something. But King James, like that. Isn't that the version of the Bible? Hey, the Puda. At Bella's chest. Rubbing her chest. Yeah, my puppy dog. Yeah, my girl. Bella's the dog. They haven't capped the number of yellow cabs, white cab Uber cars. Sounds like hate to me. Cause, shoot, the yellow cab's been there forever. Okay, let me stay focused. India, Assam, will 4 million people really be deported? Employees at National Weather Service office in Maryland were startled when a random message suddenly blared over the intercom in Chinese. And the message says something like, Mary Sue, go to the stove. And I think before it went over the intercom, it went over their computers. That's like when you listening in on somebody's phone calls and you accidentally unmute, and then you be like, I said, be quiet, Bella. And then the people on the phone are like, ooh, what? I don't know how to change the fist black. Yeah, how can somebody had told us they could help us do that. You probably can't be on a phone. You probably have to be on a computer to do fancy things like that. Like have black hands and everything. Tamron Hall has secured development deal with ABC for a daytime show. That Tamron Hall, when she been hanging out here, has it been a year? Has it been 2 years? If you are on a phone, try doing a long press on the icons to see if it gives you the option for different colors. I'm going to do that on my tablet. Yes, I'm going to try that. U.S. beachgoers may have killed hundreds of protected birds. I think they were like digging up their eggs and stuff. KKK to New York kids, come on over here. We have candy. Dead fetus found on plane by cleaning crew at LaGuardia Airport. So prayers out to the baby who made its transition. Can you imagine being on the cleaning crew and finding a dead baby? That's kind of disturbing. Did Chicago police bait people to steal Louboutins and Nike sneakers? You decide. New Mexico kids trained to attack schools. That's the black people I was talking about. Now, how they know they was being trained to attack schools? That seemed like, yeah, I don't know. Mudslide erupts in Swiss Village. Look, I'm turning around because you know what that means? We're at the end of the news feed. Even though it's the middle of the night. But we did it. It's only 9:09, but we did it. We finished. Whoop, whoop, whoop. excited. Ooh, potty over here. Look, it's like a hold down. Potty over here. Okay, so anyway, that's it. We're done. It's time to wind down. What are you looking forward to? We already talked about, hopefully you dropped in the comments. I saw all those comments about what's new and good, because we love to share what's new and good with us, what's new and good with our families and our communities. We love to spread good news so we have things to celebrate. That's what we love to do, because that's what we're all about. The good news. And what are you looking forward to? What are you excited about? I have a tour tomorrow. I'm really looking forward. You're looking forward. Yapo says, to a trip he's taking tomorrow. I'm gonna have a tour tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be out of town. I'm looking forward to that. It doesn't work on my phone. Oh, you're very excited. So Bonafide says it doesn't work on his phone to IC, changing the icons. So yeah, today is the best day ever. And you are the greatest. You are the number one stunner. And it is on purpose that we are here together, whether we're live or virtually. I want more news. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here. You ain't even got to leave my channel. Channel Be Fabulous You. You ain't got to leave the channel. Go watch some other videos. But we about to go, because it's like the middle of the night. Oh, watch. Look how the color is kind of red now. Look at when I go over here. You see how it's like it's like a different kind of color. It's like yellow, red bone, yellow bone. So that's what we got. I use Android. Excellent broadcast, Angela. Much love and respect as always. Thank you. So this is the time when we wind down. Drop in the comments. Nope. Thanks, Angela. Thank you, Love Like the Sun. Thank you, Sonia C's. I might have to switch to iPhone. No! Switch to BlackBerry. Android doesn't have to go to... Okay, Android doesn't have to go to Florida. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Why are we saying that? Peace and love, Black family. Holiday Inn. If your girl starts acting up, Black of the Berry, Sweet of the Juice. Is that a song? The Black of the Berry, Sweet of the Juice. Okay, look, I'm about to get this music. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. So that's it. That's what we got. Today is the best day ever. Did I already say this? I'm going to say it again. I'm going to get a BlackBerry. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. I really do appreciate you for being here. I really do. I love the live. I love you. It's just better. It's better. It's better. And the people who are on the replay, it's better too. I like blackberries and blueberries and strawberries and raspberries. No prob. No prob what? Hey. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Who we gonna be if we ain't we? Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. I call that music. Hey. That's the best part. And then the peace at the end, and then all the stuff in the middle. And I made that up myself. I mean, every time I listen to it, I'm just like more and more impressed. All right, peace.